The following podcast is inspired by the book How to Live a Great Life. These podcasts are designed to give you some perspectives that will help improve the quality of your life. Hi, I hope you're having a good day. Perhaps this will be the day that great new possibilities begin for you. In this episode, I will conclude the current consideration of the challenges that emanate from within us. I will then introduce a new and exciting topic that will take many episodes to fully explore. Many years ago, Wayne Dyer gave a speech in which he wanted to present a parallel to the search for the truth that is within us. He described a scene in which the power went out in his house. In this scene, he clumsily dropped his keys, but could not find them in the dark. The street lights were on outside, so he decided to look for his keys outside where he could see. As he was searching, a friend came along and asked what he was doing. Wayne told him he was looking for his keys. After a half hour of frantic searching, his friend asked him where he last had his keys. Wayne said that he dropped them in the house. His friend was puzzled. He asked, why was he looking outside if he dropped the keys in the house? Wayne told him it was too dark in the house to look for the keys. Wayne Dyer wanted to illuminate a common human problem. It is uncomfortable to look for the source of our problems by exploring our fears and coping mechanisms. It is much easier to look outside and blame others or circumstances for our life challenges. Yet the answers lie within. If we shine our light there, we regain our power. This concludes the current discussion of seeing within the answers to our challenges. We will return to this topic in later episodes. The new topic that I would like to introduce is creating your life as you wish it to be. My life was improved dramatically when I learned from books and seminars how to create the life I chose to have. The technique takes some practice to master. I should warn you that there are many learned people who do not believe in this technology. But then, all breakthrough ideas have their doubters. For 15 years now, I have been producing extraordinary events in my life. Some people would argue that there have been dozens of coincidences that have produced these results. But like detectives on TV or in the movies, I do not believe in coincidences, let alone dozens of them. The foundation for my learning actually began 20 years earlier, or about 35 years ago. I was a voracious reader at the time. One of the books I picked up was the Tao Te Ching. Of course, it was an English translation of a book that was written 4,000 years ago in China. At that time, only emperors and their families could read, so the book was written as a guide for emperors to rule successfully. The Tao is poetry. The ideas are presented in a very indirect way. What I took from it was the understanding that there was an energy in the universe. If a ruler or any person wanted to have harmony, they would behave in a positive way. If a ruler were to be ruthless in the treatment of his subjects, they would cause a negative reaction in the energy. This disharmony could lead to rebellion or other negative consequences. There were two other books I read at this time that had a similar theme to the Tao. These books were written by Richard Bach. One book was called Illusions. The other was A Bridge Across Forever. Bach put forward ideas that suggested that we humans were capable of great accomplishments if we connected with a greater energy. All of these books were fascinating, but I was not able to convert them into any practical application at the time. It would take another 20 years and some very exciting authors, as well as unique circumstances in my life, for me to start the practice of creating my life as I wished it to be. In the next episode, I will describe the process and how I came to learn it. In the following episodes, I will describe the extraordinary events in my life that came about using this technology. I will also explain how it is shaping my life today. In a final episode on this topic, I will introduce you to a friend of mine with whom I have been sharing this technology. He will describe some of the magical events that have occurred for him as he implements these ideas in his life. These podcasts are an introduction to the soon-to-be-published book, How to Live a Great Life. The promise of the book is to give you information and tools that will help you to reduce stress and increase joy in your life. To get updates on the launch date for the book, as well as information on future podcasts, please click the link Great Life in the show notes of this episode. Enter your email and you will be kept up to date. If you are listening using the Apple Podcast app, the show notes can be found by pressing on Detail. Then scroll down the show notes to find the Great Life link. This is Bill Rabo reminding you that your thoughts create your reality. So think positive thoughts.